We know burnout is real, especially around medical professionals. Physicians have burnout, and there is an increased burnout and suicide rate for physicians. It's astonishing. And it's not anyone's fault. I mean, physicians are trained to work through it. You know, they are demanded to not sleep and get used to not sleeping and perform and push through and be alert and do a lot in a little bit of time and to keep going and to keep going. But we are all humans, and physicians are humans, and it is not your fault if you are in this situation where you are burned out. The problem is that why haven't we done anything about the burnout, suicide rates, and depression? Well, physicians are saying the symptoms aren't severe enough to have them do anything. So what is it going to cost you personally? What is it going to cost you in your relationships, in your financial security, in your health, your own physical health? What about your mental and emotional health? And all of those things affect every relationship you have, whether it's the relationships you have at work or the relationships that you have outside of work. But if we aren't taking a look at why we aren't doing anything about burnout, it's a big problem. If you don't think the issues are severe enough, it's because we're taught not to do anything about those symptoms. As a medical professional myself, I continue to put my patients before me because I'm not as sick as they are. And so I think like my symptoms are not severe enough. So I put my symptoms to the side so that I can be there for my patients. And this could be, a noble characteristic. I think it's a natural characteristic of somebody who works at a hospital because we like doing things for other people. It makes us feel good about ourselves when we save someone else's life. The problem is we're not willing to save our own. And that's what I want to help the medical field really start embracing, is that if we don't start taking care of ourselves, we will not be able to take care of others. We also fall into the trap that we believe we can deal with burnout and depression without the help of a professional. So no one wants to see a therapist because we as medical professionals label people that go to a therapist. So I have a great alternative for this, and that is called burnout coaching. So I'm not a therapist. I have 21 years experience working in the medical field, working at the local community hospital. I took care of lots of patients. I worked with doctors. I worked with nurses. I worked with radiologic technologists, lab techs, administration, management, security. There's so many different levels of people that you are dealing with at a hospital. And then we have the patients, and then we have the patients' families, right? And so we're constantly trying to figure out how to talk to people, communicate, and take care of our job, which is constantly being changed, and guidelines and more charting and do this and do that and change that and learn this so you can do this differently. And so there's constantly things moving, lots of moving parts when you're working at a hospital. And there's lots of peoples and personalities that are also moving parts that affect the way we're able to show up at work. A coach takes you through and gives you a different perspective. So what we're doing here is helping you get out of burnout and depression, get out of that fight or flight mindset, that out of that survival mode, out of that stress, because when you're in that mode, you can't create better solutions. So you're stuck. You are stuck in burnout. And if you don't have a solution to get your mind integrated and working in that resting state, you will not make progress with your burnout. And you will wait till the symptoms get so severe that it could be too late. You could lose your job. You could get sued for not behaving appropriately. Your wife could leave you, your spouse, your family could get fed up with the way you're acting because you're burned out. Your colleagues, the people around you can be complaining about you, because the thing is, being burned out affects the way we think, it affects the way we feel, and both of those things have a direct effect on the way I behave and the results that I'm getting around me. And those results aren't just, punching a clock or how many patients I saw today. We're talking about the results in your relationship, your pocketbook, your mental and emotional health. It all comes at a cost. So when half the physicians out there are saying the symptoms are not severe enough to do anything about it, what are you willing to give up? I am a burnout coach. I coach physicians so that they can get out of that survival mode and that they can have a balance in their life, that they can enjoy working and enjoy life, that they can create time. Because physicians also complain about working too much and having too much time at the workplace. Well, guess what? It's because you don't have boundaries. So we need to figure out how to create this time, how to create boundaries so that I know what I'm looking for. I know what I want out of work. I know what I want out of the rest of my life, and start making goals and start creating steps to create a life you love. Because if you're burned out, you do not like what's going on. If you're burned out, it's because you have not thought the symptoms were severe enough. So guess what? It's like they stack up and up and up and up and up until the point where they are severe. And as medical professionals, boy, do we wait. We are like the worst patients. We wait until it is like up here. Like we can't breathe. Like it's right on the verge of like, I can't breathe. And then I think it's severe enough to ask for help. That's the problem with us medical professionals, is that we wait too long to ask for help. That's only part of it. Because we will let things, it comes at a price to not ask for help. It comes at a price to not think something's severe enough. So it's like, does your own health matter to you? Does your family matter to you? Does your relationships matter to you? Does your money matter to you? Because if those things matter to you, then the symptoms of burnout are severe. They are severe. And I am here to offer a program that is going to help you. Listening to a podcast here, a self-help book there, I mean, it might calm you a little bit, but without a program, without someone guiding you and directing you, you aren't going to figure it out by yourself. And that is, you've been trained to figure out things by yourself. If you're a physician, you've been trained to figure it out. You are at the top of the food chain. People go to you when they're sick. Who do you go to? Well, I'm offering you something. I'm offering you a way to deal with burnout, depression, and suicide. I am offering you a program that is going to help you get out of survival mode. And you don't have to get diagnosed, and you don't have to say you're in therapy. You can say, I have a life coach. You can say, I have a burnout coach. You're living a life right now, and you're getting a result right now based on what you know and how to deal with it. If you want something different, you're going to have to try something different. And this is a perfect opportunity to schedule a call with me right now. If you are burned out, you could have a burnout coach. I promise that I will give you a solution and a program that will change your life. We need you. We need high functioning, smart physicians that are healthy, not only physically, but emotionally and mentally. And if you don't think that your mental and emotional health is going to catch up to you, and you don't think your symptoms are severe enough, I want you to know this information so that when they do, you know where to go and that there is a solution. There are other people out there that have a solution for burnout. Don't wait any longer. Don't let something cost you more than you really want it to cost you. There is a solution. If your result right now is burnout, I know you've tried to figure it out by yourself. You have nothing to lose to gain a perspective from somebody else that's been there. In the 21 years I worked at the hospital, I was burned out off and on many times, so many times I can't even count. I continuously collected information about how to deal with burnout. And I walked side by side. I worked side by side with physicians just like you that were under pressure to be at the top of the food chain and not be able to ask for help, not be able to do anything differently. Don't let that happen to you. Let's schedule an appointment. Let me meet you where you are, and I will absolutely show you how I can help right now. You're going to find me at calendly.com/MelanieYates. You can find me at happyjoyousandfree.org. That's happy, joyous, and free, all together, .org. I am here to help. I am here to change the way the medical field is taken care of. And it's your choice today. You can do something. Choose to take care of yourself. Choose to do something different. Get out of that default mode and let's talk.